Brrr. Brrr. Okay. Brrr, 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 brrr. Ba, 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 ba. It might take an extra second or two. I've got to fix my hair, okay? There's always one straggler. There's always one straggler. You know what I mean? Does this one go over here? Oh, okay. There's always a couple of stragglers. I should have brought a brush with me. I do have my beard brush somewhere. I do have my beard brush. This is my beard brush. Oh, look, it's got a green one in there now. This is for my beard. It's for my beard and my downstairs beard. Ow! 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 Okay. All right, lights. 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 And we got camera. We got sound. Bop, bop, bop. Sound. We've got props. Okay. We've got props. We're good. We're good. Cut. Cut. And action. Konnichiwa. And welcome in. We are doing food review. Duncan does a food review. And today we're doing Asian food themes. Now, there's a lot of Asian foods out there at the grocery store. They've become really popular in the last couple years. You can even get them in little like takeout containers that are frozen. It's real interesting. Well, it looks kind of like an ice cream container, like a half-gallon ice cream. But it's also like, okay. You didn't know, right? But ice cream was invented. It was invented in Thailand. I don't know if you knew that. So we will explore that on another day, not today. Will we do ice cream reviews? I don't know. There's a lot of production value that goes into making one of these videos. And honestly, after 3 minutes, the ice cream would melt. So I'd have to eat one of those like ice creams that are just made for the camera. And those are made out of shortening, like Crisco. It's dyed Crisco. I don't want to let you know all of the movie magic secrets, but it's dyed Crisco that they scoop out. And so would I eat a tub of lard? Yeah. Yeah, I would. But that's not, look, so we'll have to unpack all of that. Look, y'all send me messages if y'all want me, to eat a tub of lard or y'all want me to eat ice cream or both. Y'all want me to drip melted ice cream on a tub of lard that looks like ice cream? How many views are we talking about? Okay. Look, today we're reviewing Kroger's. That's a grocery store down here in Texas, and as well as other states that I don't know the names of those states. Kroger brand sushi and loaded dumplings. Look at this. Sushi and loaded. Okay, okay. I messed my sushi up a little bit. Sushi, crunchy California rolls, and loaded dumplings also with crunchies. Okay, ding, ding, ding. It's not a snack battle. Okay, it's not. Now, where the battle comes into play is I am also going to make some ramen. Okay, I am going to make some nong shim shin ramen. Okay, and then we'll go head to head battle with grocery store buy one. It was buy one get one free today. Grocery store sushi. It's making my mouth water thinking about the sushi. But we're going to try it, okay? And we're going to do head-to-head battle with Shin Ramen and see which one wins, okay? I don't think this is edible. like the last one was. Last time we found a bag of chips that was actually edible. This is not edible. It's not edible. And maybe you need to put it in the soup. Okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you. We're also doing seaweed salad. We're going to do some seaweed salad with our California roll and our loaded dumplings. Okay. Now, I will tell you those dumplings, I was able to see who made, because I asked, I said, is the person that's still around that made the food, are they still here? And the manager was like, yeah, they're still here. And then so the manager actually went and got the person that made the food. And I never like to make assumptions. And so the manager went and got Gary. Gary came over and I said, konnichiwa, bitch. And Gary said, konnichiwa, bitch. And we kind of connected on that. And then I talked to Gary about his love of all things Japanese. He loves anime. He loves a good manga. He did start telling me about his top 5 hentai, which was awkward because there was a lot of people shopping around us. He started to use some of the uncut sushi rolls. And he said, well, imagine this was a squid tentacle. And so at that point, I had to stop Gary and say, Gary, I appreciate how dedicated you are to Japanese culture. And so I am invested in trying your food today. So this is not only a review of Kroger's brand, California. Oh, they smell good. California rolls and dumplings. It's also a review of Gary. Okay. And so Gary will tune in and Gary will watch the video. If you see at least one view, that's probably Gary. Just smells like paper. Okay, let's get into this. We're going to try this food. I'm going to warm up. I'm going to put the kettle on and warm up my ramen. Actually, let's get the ramen set up. Let's get the ramen all set up. There we go. Get this. Okay, hold on. Oh, I was scared. There's lots of little pieces. Look at that. Ooh, look at that. Look, Shin Ramen is the good stuff, okay? And I want to show you, this is a bowl for ramen. Look at that. This bowl is specifically designed for ramen. We've got some, do we have any more goodies in here? Yeah, we do. Look at that. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put in the little veggies and stuff. Let's put those in. Get out of there. There we go. Okay, you see we got all the little dehydrated veggies. Now I'm going to do the good stuff. This is the seasoning and it's hot. Okay. It is hot. So just, beware. Just beware. You don't have to add all of this, okay? I will. But you don't have to, okay? I like it hot. So I'm going to go in and get it all in there. So that's really all you have to do. Now I am going to go in with some pepper paste. It says spicy cocktail sauce, but that's just because it's lost in translation, okay? This is your typical traditional like pepper paste. Okay? It's fermented. This is like gochujang, but it's like gochujang made to go in dishes. Okay? So I'm going to squeeze just a little bit of that in there. If we need more, we can always add more. Okay? Now, I do want to say while I'm recording this for y'all that we're going to do head to head battle. I will try the Kroger sushi, I will make my ramen, and then it will be a head to head battle. Which flavor is more powerful? Okay, I will rate both of them. I will rate this dish, and then I will rate these dishes with the seaweed salad. Okay, and then we will decide head to head battle, but it's not a snack battle this time. It's a food battle. The first food battle on the channel. Okay. Let me taste the sushi now. Let's go in with a loaded dumpling first of all. Look, I don't need to sauce these. Look, they're adequately sauced. Those are little dehydrated onions on top, okay? These are dehydrated onion. Oh, I need chopsticks. Hold on. Now, I am following typical Japanese tradition. You have to tear open your chopsticks with your mouth. That's to pay homage to all those who have died while eating with chopsticks. See, this one doesn't have a lot of the crunchies on there. Mmm. Room temperature. Interesting. The flavors are there. The stuffing and the dumplings are good. It is a pork stuffing. It's mildly spicy. I think that's from this, like you see this orange sauce. That's like a spicy mayo. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to do one more. Mmm. Mmm. Nothing wrong with that at all. Now, I could use a little bit of dipping sauce. I could. It's not that it's dry. It's that I think a little bit of soy sauce would add some umami flavor. That would be really good. That's my only criticism. Keep in mind, I'm not comparing this to a fresh made or a homemade dumpling, which I've had many. I'm comparing this to the ramen that I'm going to eat. And it's important to stay objective, okay? So you may be thinking, well, Duncan, how does that compare to like, your grandma that made dumplings? My grandma did make dumplings, by the way. Or if you go to a nice restaurant that serves dumplings, how does that compare? It's apples and oranges. I'm just not even thinking about it, okay? It's like you're just going to have to go to another video or, you know what I mean? And I know most YouTubers, they don't tell you to go watch another video. That's exactly what I'm doing. If that's your question, like if you type it in the comment section, like I don't know what I'll do. I'll lose my shit because I just told you, go watch another video. Okay, that's not what we're doing here. I'm going to have another dumpling because now I'm in my feelings. So this is an emotional stress eating dumpling. Mmm. The more room temperature they get, the more delicious they are. Okay, I'm ready for my verdict. On a 10-point scale, 8.1. 8.1, solid 8.1, solid contender today. 8.1. Okay, now the water's done. Let's get our ramen steeping. Okay, let's get our ramen going. You see, I'm pouring it. Hey, y'all, I'm pouring it right over the dehydrated veggies. Okay, and I'm pouring it right over the sauce. Do you see how it's like just leaning in? And here's the thing, I'm not filling it all the way up. Okay, I don't like a saucy. I don't like a saucy noodle. I just want enough water that gets soaked in there. So you can see how much I've got in there, right? You can see that pretty good. Sloshing around a little bit. Just, does that do it for you? You got any otakus in here? You know what I mean? Y'all, anybody got a love pillow? Post in comments. What's the name of your love pillow? YouTubers. I know with being extremely racist, you also probably are very contradictory to that racism. The racism has to come from someplace. It's probably because none of the real women will touch you. I'm talking to the men, talking to the men on YouTube, and some of the trad wives, probably like 50. Ow, this is hot. They're like 50-50, like some of the trad wives. Not all of the trad wives. There's some great women out there that serve very traditional home roles, right? And I'm not shitting on them, okay? But like if you look at other people that are different color or different than you and you like get angry at the world, that I'm talking to you. So check your husband's closet, ladies. Probably has a pillow that has a pillowcase with an anime woman on it that he tries to put his penis inside. Okay? And I'm not shaming that. I'm shaming being racist and then fucking an anime pillow. That kind of like hyperbole is not welcome. Okay? Not welcome. Like, look, if forgive me for being small-minded, but if you're like racist, like hatefully racist, like fuck a white sheeted pillow. Like, why are you messing around with other pillows? Like, stay consistent. You get what I'm saying? Stay consistent. Anyway, look. We're not done yet. Okay? Because we have sushi to try and seaweed salad. Ooh, listen to the pop. Oh, okay. Look, seaweed. Look at that. Smell test. Ooh, smells like the ocean. Smells like the ocean and my first girlfriend when we would neck in the back of the theater. Mmm. Tastes like both of them too. Mmm. Okay, this was not planned, but look. Look, you can't even tell, right? This wasn't planned, but look. All right. You know what we're going to do? Let's take a pinch of this. This is only fair. We're going to take a pinch of this, a healthy pinch, okay? And we're going to put it right in the ramen. Tell me I'm not a genius, okay? There we go. So we'll let that do its thing. That's still kind of working its way out ramen wise. Now we try, y'all, look. Now we try the California crunchy rolls, okay? Oh, were y'all waiting for this? This was like the main, you're like, oh, if anything's going to take down that ramen, it's going to be the California crunchy rolls. Let's take a look. Smell test. We've got some imitation crab. We have some cucumber. Okay. And then I think we have more cucumber. I think that's all that's in here. Yeah. Let's get a good old look. See, that's the imitation crab, the red and white. And then, oh, I think we have some avocado. There's avocado, cucumber, and imitation crab. Okay. It still smells fresh-ish. I will be honest with you. Room temperature sushi is already turning my stomach a little bit. Now, this sushi has been sitting out for 2 hours, to be honest with you, while I've been prepping and getting ready for this video. I kind of don't want to eat anymore on account of the botulism. Luckily, the imitation crab, that you see that imitation crab in there, that has no risk of going rancid. That imitation crab is literally good until the year 2062. Now, I will say, flavor-wise, it's not good because it's been sitting out. It just tastes. Um, I'm trying to be elaborate, but it just tastes bad. It just tastes warm and goopy and gooey. The sauce is not bringing out the flavors. It's all kind of, it's like sad sushi. So I think rule number one, what we're learning from this is don't order sushi, save it to do a food review, leave it on your desk for 2 hours with the hot computer running and the lights running, and then eat it during eat it during a food review. I think that's what we're learning. I'm gonna try it again because I want to be a fair and partial judge when I score it. Okay. My belly's already turning a little bit. Uh, okay. All right, I'm ready to give you my score. I can't mark off for the fact that I left it out, okay? But I can mark off for the fact that Kroger's is a huge corporation. They should have given me some ice packs in here for the sushi to rest on, knowing that I'm an American idiot and I'd leave sushi out like a numbnuts. They should have known and compensated that. And for that, I blame Gary, the gentleman, can you say weeb? Okay, look, weebish sensibilities. Definitely has a pillow that he fucks with an anime character on it. Probably above age, just consenting above age pillow. Um, Gary, you fucked me on this. Kroger's, you fucked me on this. I'm so sorry to use that language. 2.2. And you only get 2.2 because Gary is probably going to watch this. I want him to save face. I don't want him to seppuku or go to the top of the Kroger's building and throw himself off. Because guess what, Gary? I know that I've tainted your reputation as a sushi maker at Kroger, and I'm sorry. But if you jump off the top of the Kroger's, it's not going to kill you. Okay. You got to do like the employees at the Apple plant do. It's got a 6-story Apple plant. They go to the top of the Apple plant, jump off. You know it's going to seal the deal. Okay. You're only left with seppuku. You don't want to heal up for 9 months in the hospital, Gary. And then you got to do seppuku. You're going to spend that whole time thinking about sticking a knife in your belly. And what do you do? Do you go diagonal? Do you go in? Do you do full circle and let everything... Look, I'm trying to help you, Gary. 2.2, solid 2.2, respectable 2.2, okay? But 2.2. So, since we are doing a head-to-head battle, we're doing a head-to-head battle of loaded dumplings and the crunchy California rolls. We did a 8.1 and a 2.2. What's that? 10.3. It averages out to 5.15. 5.15. Okay. Now you may think, well, Duncan, the ramen's going to beat that, right? I also do. I have furikake. We're going to pour some furikake on there. Look at that. Just a dabble, do ya? Okay, we got the furikake on there. That's just more seasoning. Look, can this beat 5.15? I'm sure it can. But that's not what the head-to-head challenge is. Okay? That's just scoring the food outright. The head-to-head challenge comes after. So let's give this a nice taste. You see how the noodles? Look at that. And do you see how the sauce has gotten a bit, it's soaked up in the noodles? Oh, this is going to be good. I'm so happy that you've tuned into this video because now you're going to know how to make a proper ramen at your desk with barely warm water. You didn't think it could be done, did you? Noodles are still a little stiffer than I think most people would like, but look, they still move. They're still moving. Okay, all right, let's get in here. Let's have some noodles. All right, smell test. Smells good. Smells fragrant. Smells like ramen. Smells yeasty from the noodles. Konnichiwa, bitches. Luckily, my beard, it catches a lot of the juices that fall. It also gets in my mouth. Interesting. The noodles are a bit chewy, and I blame the noodle manufacturer for that. Absolutely. You know what would be, and by the way, if any of the noodle manufacturers steal this idea, I'm going to litigate. But you know what they could do? They could take some of this ramen, instead of putting it in a packet, put it in a tiny little microwavable bowl. And then you can add the water to the bowl and make the lid so you peel the lid halfway off, put the water in, reseal the lid, and let it sit there. That way you don't have an open container like this. I'm gonna get on this. I'm gonna start an American ramen company. It's gonna be called Freedom Ramen. Extremely flavorful, y'all. Extremely flavorful. It's doing a great job of satisfying that noodle bite. The texture is there. The sauce is there. One more bite, and then I'll be able to tell you. What's funny is for Halloween, I was dressed as Dax Shepard before he got clean of opioids, and I had a wig that looked a lot like this because he grew his hair out when he was high all the time. Because when you're high, you don't want to shave, you don't want to do nothing. And also because I'm a character actor, I dyed my pubic hair the same color. Okay, I'm ready. I am ready. So here's the issue. Here's the issue. The I like the flavor. Everything that went into it was good. You're welcome because I made all those decisions. What I didn't like about it that was outside of my control was those noodles were very, very chewy. Too chewy, in fact. It's almost like that needed ultra hot boiling water in order to be a successful dish. Okay. And it just, even with the kettle that boiled, it just wasn't it. It wasn't it. So my verdict is 5.4. Okay. It does beat the 5.15 of the California roll and the dumplings, right? It does beat these. Okay. But that's not how we do this. This is how we do the head-to-head food battle. Ba-ba-ba-bow. Okay. Crack this open. All right. Sushi ready. Dumplings ready. Ramen ready. Now it's a battle. And they'll fight it out in my mouth. Dumplings Sushi as a duo against the ramen. Which flavor will win out? Ding, ding, ding! Let the festival begin. The noodles prominent over everything. But that's only texture wise. The filling of that dumpling is like masked and waiting. And it bursts out of the wrapper. But the cucumber flavor, as you well know, is a powerful flavor in its own right. The cucumber in the sushi is busting out. And getting stuck up in my gum line are those tiny little fried onion bits that make both of these dishes sing. Oh man. The verdict is the flavor that wins out above all else. There's a lingering onion presence in my mouth. And both the sushi and the dumplings were coated in those things. No onion presence in here. The sushi that got a 2.2 and the dumplings that got an 8.1 are the winners. They are the winners. Ding, ding, ding of the first official food battle on my channel. Like and subscribe. And remember, if you want me to try shortening that is dressed up to look like ice cream, like it's scooped into a cone like I talked about earlier, message message me so that we can figure out if that's something that we're going to do in a future episode. Cut.